I say, there you are. Welcome, ya wrong 'un. Welcome to the Theatre of the Mind, live 272. Oh, I think you may just enjoy this evening. It's going to be very interactive tonight. Very, 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 very interactive. Throat's feeling a little better. Cough's not. But I do feel sorry for anybody that's got the lurgy. We'll get rid of that. Anybody's got this lurgy that's going around. I did see some some figures. I don't know whether your doctor's surgery, and I will get to your comments in a moment, of course, the parish notes. Have you had any contact from your local doctor's surgery? I have. I've had 2 emails today because obviously I've deleted the NHS app off my phone. Technical term that we use in radio. And I've basically gone, out of and shite. I'm not having it on my phone. I'm not having digital ID or anything on my phone, so you can go and Foxtrot Oscar. And they've said, in this email, I'm kind of paraphrasing, we've got a tsunami, a flu, and things, and lurgy. And there's only been 2,000 and 2,500 new cases of flu in this last week. And they want me to take the fucking flu jab. I mean, do they think I'm mad? Yeah, evidently. So I just thought I'd let you know that according to NHS and the email that I received today, it says there's 2,500 new cases of flu. I wonder why they want to give us the jab. 5 years ago. That's how long ago it was, 5.5 years. But I'm not falling for that same old trick again, Watto. So welcome to the body of the Kirk. Welcome to the Body of the Kirk, Theatre of the Mind, live number 272. Les Griffiths first in the pews. What was I going to do tonight? I was going to do something else, but I've got something new tonight. I've got some stuff. We've got some decoded, and well, it's Christmas week tomorrow. So not that I don't, all this bollocks. Sorry, rollicks. I'm not supposed to swear much. I've not got anything in my swear box, so I'm struggling. So I shall be as measured as possible this evening, but I don't want to do. Everybody's welcome in the Body of the Kirk. It's a broad Kirk. Everybody's welcome. I don't want to do the kind of it's Christmas. We're all sheep. We're all listening to the same old shite, and we're all doing the same old shite, and it's just shite. Because there'll be people watching this that'll be on their own. So I want them to have as much fun in the Body of the Kirk as we always do, whether it's Sister Mary or the Bishop. I'm not bashing him again. He's not very happy with me. More of that later. I am going to tell you about the Labour Party Christmas party. I'll tell you on Sunday. It's happening on Sunday. They just want to get them away from Sports Personality of the Year. If Rory McIlroy don't win it, because it'll be some no name. I mean, there was a time when Sports Personality of the Year, it was kind of like the Sunday before Christmas. It was always the Sunday before Christmas until the last few years, and then it was like it weren't on the Sunday before Christmas, as far as I can remember. But that might be my delirium playing havoc with me one single IQ point. And who are they going to have Sports Personality of the Year? Who are they going to have as Team of the Year? Sunderland, shocking all the Premiership, including Newcastle. And so I want the Body of the Kirk to be about those that might be on their own, who might join us in the community, because this is what we're about. We've got each other's back, because let's face it, these deviant feckers that are supposed to be the lawmakers, the lawbreakers, they're just dead behind the eyes. And we just got to look out for each other. And I'm not going all tree hugging hippie shite on you. I'm not. I'm just saying that this is a community. What we are here is we're the free thinkers, we're the forward thinkers, we are the thinkers of the world, and we need to look after each other. So I'm not. I just welcome anybody, no matter your circumstances, no matter what you're going to do for Christmas. It's only a week away, and I will say to you, I've spent many Christmases on my own because I'd be either working or because in radio you either get Christmas off if you're kind of a married, or you got kids, or you have New Year's off if you've done Christmas to let the marrieds have their Christmas off. And being a community, which is hopefully what we are after three and a bit years, 3 years, 4 months, bloody hell, and 272 lives. I just hope that you feel at home here. The piles cushions are still there. Don't worry. I understand the Starmers. They're a bit hard on your derriere. So the piles cushions are over there. The Battenberg straight in front of you, and the altar wine. Well, it's near the altar. That's why it's called altar wine. It's a little, So tonight it's going to be a little free flowing this evening. We've got something new that I came up with about 10 minutes ago. So I'm not quite sure how it's going to work, if it's going to work. We're going to do it's very interactive tonight. Very, 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 very. So welcome, Les Griffiths. You're wrong. Welcome, Les. Welcome to the body of the Kirk. Les says, after Trump has designated fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction, I have petitioned him to do the same with my wife's egg and chips. Oh, Les, behave, man. There's nothing wrong with eggs, beans and chips. Breakfast of champions. Neil Cunningham. Welcome, Les. Welcome to the body of the Kirk. And, Jill Gill. Buck Rogers has died. It's just, I've had a pop-up. That's a technical term that we use for something that pops up on my screen before you start, you monkey tart. The Buck Rogers, was it Erin Gray? She wasn't Buck Rogers. She was Buck Rogers' helper in the 70s. Do you mind if I just take half an hour to think about that? And it was Tweaky, the little robot-y thing. Buck Rogers was fabulous in the 70s when I was a boy, and sadly the actor that played Buck Rogers, Gill, can't remember his second name, he's waddled off. No! Stanley Baxter never made the newspapers. Well, it wouldn't, would it? I've told you, I think somebody's put that in the chat because they know my story about Stanley Baxter. An irascible, old, curmudgeonly old bagger. In my personal experience. I might tell you the story again later. Les, thank you. Neil Cunningham, welcome to the body of the Kirk, Neil. Good evening, one and all. Rev, I hope the throat is better. Depends how long it's going to last for. Honestly, it was shite on Sunday, and then Monday was like, what's going on? But normally, and I'm sure you're exactly the same, normally I'll get a sore throat, and it's like, oh, here we go. Cold coming on, incoming. And then it would travel down onto my chest. I'll give it a bit of a rub, make me nipples hard, and then it would just disappear or go back up into my throat. But this one's been like razor blades in my throat, which is why the ghost stories have been a bit all over the place. I haven't even done 17 tonight, trying to save me voice for this, and then I'll record it after I've done the live. 17 ghost stories, one a day for 17 days, and we're only doing 24. But I promise you, if you've not seen any of the ghost stories, I promise you, 24 for Christmas Eve is proper going to shit you up. I shit you not. Technical terms, obviously, all through the night. It's not sweary Mary. Neil, welcome to the body of the Kirk. Throat's a little better. There's a lot to be said for honey and lemon and lemsip. So, rejoining the EU through the back door is a step closer with the student programme. But we all know Keir loves a bit of backdoor action. He does. And after 7 kids, I'm sure that's the only action that Ursula von der Leyen bitch is going to get. Can you imagine? Welly top. David Graham says, evening, y'all. Scary to think that Christmas Eve is a week today and New Year's Eve is 2 weeks tonight. Blimey, 2026. Who would have thought? I'm going to make a prediction. Don't know whether to do it tonight or... Hang on, I need to slow down a bit here. I can feel the adrenaline hitting me and me speeding up. At my age, Jesus, slow down, you wrong'un. So, David, welcome to the body of the cook. I agree. Into Europe via the back door. Starmer the back door man. He should go. You know, he could get a job when he loses his job as prime minister. He could get another job as a back door man at the local Tesco's, because genuinely there is a job at your local supermarket. Well, it could be the back door woman, but that's a route I don't want to go down. So the back door man works for supermarkets, because when they take a delivery, you've got to have a back door man on the back door of the supermarket. As Led Zeppelin says, I mean, they were obviously fans of supermarkets. Let me be your backdoor man in one of the songs that I can't remember the title of. Genuinely. Led Zeppelin. I mean, who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? Is that a red snapper? David Graham, no, only those who know that story. It was the riot house in LA, I think. But I'm not going to elaborate any further. Yeah, wrong. David also says, Ash's third test underway in Adelaide. Australia already have over 300 runs. England need a miracle to take the Ashes back from the Australian hands. Don't talk about Bondi Beach. Should we talk about crisis actors? Oops! David Graham says, so I see British students will be able to study abroad under the EU scheme from 2027 onwards. Let me be your backdoor man. We should get Starmer singing that as a Christmas carol. And Ursula. I mean, all that money. I am going to talk about the Labour Party and Sir Keir Starmer and that £2.6 billion that the government want to take because Roman Abramovich has they've sequestered. They've taken the £2.6 billion and have told Roman Abramovich, we're taking that because we're not happy with Putin. What? So you're not happy with that bloke over there? So you're taking that bloke's money there just because he happens to be Russian and a billionaire and an oligarch? So where's the £2.6 billion going? Oh, you'll never guess. Yes, sir, Bob. Ukraine again. So why are they shoveling all this shit to Ukraine? Because they're going to wash it. They're going to launder it. And it's going to end up back in the back door of all the politicians in this country. That's the game of politics now. It's not about the greater good in our communities or our country or protecting our country. And as I predicted 2.5 years ago, remember the kiddie winks? They've got conscription in Germany now. We'll talk about that later. And in France, they're bringing it in France. Oh, the French love a bloody... they love getting upset to the French. And, I did say that we'd be saying to the 18 to 35s, well, there's your uniform. We'll give you the AK-47 or whatever iteration of gun is nowadays. And we'll send you over to the meat grinder. You might not come back, so write this letter to your mum and dad, who obviously think you're still 5-year-old. But no. You can go and you can fight in Ukraine. Can you imagine all of the little kiddie wings going, no, I'm not going to fight? Well, do you understand what the word conscription means? I don't care. Well, you'd be made to care. Because if you don't, we'll just bang you in prison. Oh, you can't do that. I'll bring my mum down. My mum will tell you off. I'm entitled, me. I'm Gen Z or Gen Alpha. No, I'm not going to go and fight in a war for somebody I don't agree with. Really? That entitlement? Oh, right. Okay. So, the politicians that are the lawmakers will bring a law in to say that you're going to be conscripted, you're going to get a uniform, you're going to get basic training, and then sent over to Ukraine to fight for the Ukrainians, because the Ukrainians have got no more Ukrainians to fight for the Ukrainians. And the entitled guys are going to go, I'm not fighting. All right, then, conscientious objector, are you? What's one of them? That's a big word. Conscientious. Don't know what it means. It means you're going in prison, mate. Nice. Are you trans by any chance? Why? Because we're not putting you in a woman's prison. You're going in a bloke's prison. Back to back doors again. Sorry, did that feel like a rant? Good evening, all. From Lionel, my bug is still hanging around a bit. Lemsip, honey and lemon. Don't have the enthusiasm for anything much. Lionel, don't say that, man. You're a long time dead. But I'm looking forward to the Rev telling it how it is. Nice. Cheers, Lionel. Welcome to the body of the cook. Pals, cushions, Battenberg. Do you think Andrew's gonna Andrew is Andrew Battenberg? I mean, I know he's saying he's Mountbatten Windsor, but he's not Mountbatten Windsor. He's technically Saxe Coburg until they change the name. But technically, he's also a Battenberg. Mucky tart. I wonder if Epstein. I mean, you know, Diddy had all the baby oil. I wonder if Epstein had all of the Battenbergs in the fridge. I mean, it would make it go hard. And the Battenberg. David Graham, is this Winterbug? Yeah, whatever that means. Blimey, David. Des Ashton. Here we are again, happy as can be. All good friends and Battenberg as can be. I think it was... here we are again, happy as can be, all good friends and jolly good company was the song I remember. Sailor boy, ship ahoy. Is that what I... Did I tell you I used to be a dancer? Proper tap dancer? And then I fell in the sink. Sorry, it's best I've got tonight. Napoleon blown apart. Hey everyone, I hope you're all well and full of the Christmas spirit. Yeah, the bottle's empty now. Napoleon blown apart. You too, Rev. We've just returned from Florida. Oh, you tart. On a house hunting trip in Florida. At least, mind you, be careful. You know, they call it the Sunshine State, or is that California? Florida, Sunshine State. Well, if the government have decided, although you are quite safe with Trump, if they decided to block out the sun, because in December so far, we've had one day with a big orange ball in the sky, and I was like, what the bloody hell's that? Because the government now are blocking out the sun. Bless them, bastards. Sorry, didn't see my lips move. Who was that? I heard something. We just returned from Florida on a house hunting trip. We're so done with temperatures in the minuses. Bar bloody Battenberg. Brilliant. Napoleon blown apart and Mrs. blown apart. And welcome to the body of the Kirk. So where are we? Yes, we're right and dandy. Andrew Mount anything with a pulse Windsor. Les Griffiths. Les, you're wronging, man. He's a Battenberg. Genuinely, Phil the Greek was a Battenberger. Well, technically, Andrew can't be a Battenberger because he's not Phil's son, is he? He's Portuguese. I booked a holiday in Jamaica at a 4-star hotel for £99, 10 days and 14 nights. Bugger off, Les. You joking me, man? Jamaica. No, she did it of her own volition. 4-star hotel for £99. What you doing? Washing the dishes all day, every day. Hang on, the Bad Wolf Project. Did Erin Gray book Rogers regularly? I wish. No, don't. You're encouraging me to be very naughty, very, very naughty. I see you. Welcome to the Body of the Kirk. So welcome everyone to Body of Kirk. We are, hang on, how many we got Wednesday? We've got 2 more. I can't do anything Christmas Eve. I've now got a family do. So I've got to be on my best behaviour. And if I say I can't make the family do because I'm doing a live, I promise you, you can come and visit me in the morgue. So I like breathing, me, love it. So I'm just going to make sure I can, but, and I'll have to make a promo or something just to kind of keep this under wraps. But, well, what can I say? Look, if the Queen can do a speech and the King can do a speech, then the Reverend of the Body of the Kirk and his Christmas Day speech coming here soon. Genuinely, I'm gonna look at that, man. I'm gonna do a speech on Christmas Day. I'm going to do some other stuff Christmas Day because, as I say, there will be people who are on their own. Now, everybody can go and bugger off with their families and do whatever you normally do. Well, hang on, I should rephrase that, considering we've just been talking about Andrew Windsor and the Royals into breeding horses. So I just want to put stuff up here to keep people company. So it's not all kind of Christmassy shite. So you can take your choice. You can pay your money and take your choice. So tonight, let me just tell you, I'm going to do something new. We're going to talk about the BBC, not the BBC. We're going to talk about the new MI6 chief. You can't make it up, man. A grandfather, Papa was a fucking Nazi. Like proper Nazi. Proper spy Nazi. So Oh, they've appointed someone and not done the background checks. How slack is that? How very poor. Very poor. But the new MI6 chief, I will talk about her. We'll talk about Germany. Conscription, anyone? We'll talk about, this country. You get conscripted in Germany, but if you stay here, you can be sent to jail for 18 months for an anti-immigration tweet. Yeah. I'm not winding you up. We can talk about ghost stories. I just want to get your opinion on those. Bondi Beach, crisis actors. Oh, I say, how unfortunate. I mean, it's 20 odd trillion to 1 to be in 2 terrorist attacks, one October 7th and then the Bondi Beach. They've outed him, like proper out. Oh, let's have a think. Do you know that evil man? That Benjamin Netanyahu, the most evil man on the planet, as I've been telling you for the last bloody 3 years. Netanyahu, he's still at war. Oh, they're anti-Semitic. Who? The Jews. Did open the guns on the Jews. Oh, I say, Netanyahu, he's still at war. 2 weeks ago, he was begging Isaac Herzog, can I have a pardon, please? Well, you've got to admit guilt first. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not guilty of out. Well, what do you want a pardon for? I don't want a pardon. Well, we're not going to give you a pardon. But if I wanted a pardon, would you give me a pardon? No, you've got to admit guilt. I'm not doing that. Bibby, we're going round in bloody circles, man. Make your mind up. Are you guilty or not? So, crisis actors, anyone? Do you want me to tell you in a video tomorrow? I'm not doing it in this live. I want this live to be joyful and triumphant. Oh, come all ye faithful. And if you have already today, you're being greedy. Oh, stop it. Look, it's me hibiscus. Netanyahu's still at war. So while he's at war, he can't be arrested. But why was he asking for a pardon? So the son in the Bondi Beach attack, he's a Jew that served time in the IDF. Ooh, how does that work? Well, it keeps me out of jail, Adrian. Which one's that, Bibby? Anyone. I'm not admitting me guilt. If I'm still at war, if we're at war around the world, somehow, some way, somehow, then I'm not going to jail. I'm Bibi Netanyahu. Yeah, in my view, abjectly evil. So I'm gonna decode the BBC situation. The BBC, who would be in the BBC? Question for you, because we are going to ask lots of questions tonight. But this is not. It's rhetorical. It's not a question for you to one for yes and 2 for no and 3 for I don't know. What was the question, Adrian? Oh yeah, have they sacked the person that made the edit yet? Have they identified? But I bet they haven't. And what about the chain of command, the line of command? What about the editor that okayed the edit from the person that did the edit? Oh no, they've not been named, Adrian. Oh really? So the chain of command. They get rid of the bod at the top, of the news arm of the BBC, the propagandists, and nobody knows. So I will get to Trump. 10 billion. It's chump change for Trump, but for the BBC. Oh, no. Hello. Is that Keir Starmer? Hello. Yeah, somebody from the BBC here. Can I ask a question? Why are you calling me? No, that's not the question, Keir. Question is, have you got some, can you check down the back of the sofa in number 10, see if you can find 10 billion pounds? What do you mean? I'm not going to find 10 billion pounds down the back of the sofa. Well, you've given Ukraine 100 million. So can you give the BBC, 100 billion? 300 billion. Bloody hell. Never was good at maths, Sakir. So you've given Ukraine 300 billion over the next 100 years. And all we're asking for is 10 billion to pay off the orange man in America. Can you sort that out, Sakir? Have you got any rent, boys? No, they own all their own houses. And anyway, they're not doing anything live with us this year. Who's not? The Rent Boys. I thought they were called the Pet Shop Boys. No, same thing, aren't they? pet shop, rent shop, mortgage. So, this evening, what are we going to do? Well, I say, Reverend, what we're going to do is, hang on a second, let me just make sure I can press that button and everything reappears. Lovely. BBC appoint Ms. Amanda Jane Jones as director of BBC Studios quietly on the 8th of September 2025. Oh, I say. Stephen Hall's just made me laugh. Rent Shop Boys, yeah, or The Fun Boy 3, Matthew Whedon. So, Bad Wolf Project, oh, they didn't make that headlines, did they? No, but we will talk about the BBC and what they're up to, because I know what they're up to, so I'm going to tell you. But tonight, we're going to do something. We're going to kind of bookend the live with something about the Bubba Sir, and then something else about the Bubba Sir at the end. And in between, we're going to, I'll start my sermon in a moment, but I just want to talk about, now, it's not fully formed in my head, so you're going to have to play along with me tonight. We're going to, I don't even have a title for it. I've just called it a sound clash, because you know all the music that's around at the moment, all the, like the top 20 Christmas songs. And like the other day, I was doing a bit of rapping. I said a hip hop, the hippie to the hip hopper, you don't stop rocking to the bam bam boogie, say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to be. Now what you hear is not a what? Wrong rapping. Oh, rapping paper. So I was doing a bit of rapping. Sorry, I'm not going to start again. And I just thought, oh, I'm going to put some Christmas songs on. And then this tsunami of brown stuff came towards me, and I thought, it's Christmas shite. Anybody for Christmas log? And no, I've never eaten it either. Anybody want to try it? I mean, imagine if we made a Christmas Battenberg log. It would fly out. Oh, can you imagine Boxing Day? So I stop it. You're being incorrigible. So I agree. Hang on, who said that? Les Griffiths to David. Epstein Island 17 times. Is that Rob Rayner? Yeah, we might talk about Rob Rayner tonight, or I might have to put it in a video tomorrow. But so I put this Christmas song thingy on, and it just wasn't. I mean, I don't know if you have a favourite song, Christmas song, but I am going to ask something similar. But tonight, during the live, all the way through, not quite sure how many rounds we're going to have, but we're going to have a sound clash. So I'm the judge and jury, and we'll allow you to chat in the chat about chat. And then I'm going to ask you to give me some songs, the best Christmas songs in the world ever. I've got the top 20-ish. So the best Christmas songs in the world ever, and non-Christmas songs that should be in the charts at this time of the year. And what we'll do is we'll get the two songs, and then you will vote. So it's going to be very interactive, and we'll go through varying rounds. We'll get to a semi-final, we'll get to a final, and then you, the judge and the jury, will decide on the greatest song ever in the world at Christmas time. It doesn't have to be a Christmas song. It just has to be a song. So we're going to play that. I Believe in Father Christmas. I'm with you, Les. It's not in the top 20, bizarrely, but there are some other stuff. Anyway, we'll get to that. Because, and also, so tonight it's going to be a sound clash. Sunday it's going to be a film clash. And then Monday, the final live before Christmas, we're just going to have a mince pie night. We're just going to sit there and chew the fat and talk about all the shite. We'll have a kind of, we'll review part of 2025 because in 2024, so Christmas 2024, I said, Christmas 2023, I said that 2024 was going to be 2023 on steroids, where we were coming out of lockdowns and it was a really weird year. And then 2024, oi, 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 you bet your sweet bippy, it was 2023 on steroids. And then in 2024, I said 2025 is all about the PSYOPs. Bondi Beach, anybody? So and have you noticed how Bondi Beach was caught complete for 11 minutes on video? That was so fortuitous. I mean, how lucky were they? Now, look, I am a cynical old tart. If you tell me black is white, I'm going to go and pull the curtains and have a look and make sure that black is black and white is white. Because I don't believe any. Okay. Now, Bondi Beach is a psyop. When the son is still alive, father and son team, the son is still alive and is a Jew, former IDF soldier. They're not putting that in the mainstream media, are they? Bibby. So 2024, it was 25 was going to be the year of the psyop. Do you know what I'm going to tell you about 2026? And this is just a general prediction. It's going to be wild. It's going to be so wild, 2026. It's not 2023 on steroids. It's not 2024 and Black Swan events and psyops. 2026 is going to be wild. It's going to be beyond your wildest imaginings. I don't know whether Three Eye Atlas is still aliens or whether it's going to come anywhere near this country. They're still trying to scare us with it, but they can. Foxtrot Oscar, fear porn. We've got it. We've got it. And now that I'm bringing decoded into the lexicon of language and how we're decoding things, it just makes me laugh at the mainstream media. Oh, be afraid! Be afraid! Well, let me tell you something. If you read the newspapers today or you followed the reportage, the rhythm of today was not joy. I would suggest that it was a drumbeat of betrayal, institutional rot, reputational conflagration. I mean, we're coming up to Christmas and you would have thought that there would be feel good in the mainstream media. I mean, if you look at Starmer, I watched him today. Starmer, he's dead behind the eyes, that boy. He hasn't even got shark's eyes. They're just dead behind there. What have they got on him that makes him do as he is told every single time they tell him? What have they got? He just wants to stay in power. And now that Angela Rayner and they've got a new head of Unison, the union, and it's a female head of Unison who's not a Starmer fan, and she was kicked out of the Labour Party. Oh, revenge is a dish best served cold, indeed, like a rice pudding with skin on the top. Oh, lovely. So the newspapers today, they're not kind of leading us up into warm and fuzzy Christmas time, December time, when we're supposed to be celebrating the birth of some bloke that might have existed, but he was a Jew. And yet, Rome, they've nicked him. They've called him Jesus. He wasn't called Jesus. He was called Yahweh. I mean, how does that work? Oh, we're the Romans. We can do anything we want. I'm the Pope, so I'm in charge. I'm God's right-hand man. I'm sure you'd be using two hands. But I'm God's right-hand man on earth. No, you're not. It's all about the power. So the mainstream media today, they're not celebrating victories. They're not celebrating warm and fuzziness. What the newspapers on a daily basis are doing now is cataloguing fractures in trust. And that's why I want to have a look at the BBC tonight. Politics under interrogation, media under legal siege, public life under moral audit, and sportsmanship exposed as a charade of rule bending and deceit, and losing the Ashes. So the emotional directive from the mainstream media, however you consume it, whether it's telly or newspapers, but the emotional directive, you need to watch closer. Nothing is as it seems. I've been telling you that for 3 years. That's why I've predicted that 2026 is going to be beyond your wildest imagination. Why? Because nothing is as it seems. Three Eye Atlas, we were told, oh, they're bloody air. So let's just be really straight with each other. The powerful are now very vulnerable, and I would suggest after 2025, utterly desperate. So you and I will feel anger, we'll feel dread, and yes, we'll feel that bloody cold tonight. It's that familiar sting of mistrust. Do you trust these idiots? These morons? No, neither do I. I don't trust anything that I see. I don't trust anything that I hear. I'm a cynical old tart. I wear a badge of tartness on my chest going, I'm cynical, me. But the one thing we're going to do with 2026 is we're going to step into the darkness with our eyes wide open. So should we start with the questions? Kitty looked awful the other day. I know, Paulie. I was looking at him thinking, ooh, near death's door. When he gets upstairs and he gets to the pearly gate, and Sir Peter goes, what's your name? Oh, stage name. Okay, right, that's not down. What's your real name? Kitty. No, your name's not down. Are you sure you weren't supposed to go downstairs? Because I don't know why you've come upstairs. Oh, you helped Tony Blair and the Labour Party. Okay, public service. What else did you do for public servicing? Oh, you went to children's homes. Ah, right, very good. And I looked at him and I thought, is that a wig? He's rock and roll, man. I do hope that he takes gifts to children's homes at this time of year. And well, he ain't going upstairs. And I just thought, oh, can you imagine? This would be perfect. If someone that would fill newspapers for weeks on end every single day, the whole bloody newspaper, the whole thing, because you can't slander a dead man, you can't libel a dead man, you can't. That would be brilliant for the mainstream media because everybody would buy the newspapers. They're not now, but they've got enough stories. Or would it be, just leave him alone? The old birds love him. A tippy tappy feet one. Slid. My oh my. David Graham. Great song. Kitty's wig had been washed for the occasion. Really, King. He should have either got brushed. Elton John. Ho ho ho. Who'd be a turkey at Christmas? So I've just done 6 gags in my head. And I can't tell you any one of them because I will be taken off YouTube. Pet Shop Boys, You Were Always on My Mind in 1987. Great song, David. Rolf Harris sang Two Little Boys. Now we know what he was thinking of. Can you see what it is yet? Fatal Racing Driver, Sam Ryder, Christmas to Me. The Darkness, Christmas Time. It is a great song. Shwaddy Waddy, Here Mr. Christmas. Maybe The Darkness can go in. Pet Shop Boys, Always on My Mind. No. So I'm going to ask you a question. So it's not a 1, 2 or 3. It's a genuine asking you a question. What makes Christmas for you? Sherry, mince pies? Being on your own? It does say peace and goodwill to all men and women. So if you don't get the goodwill, you can always have the peace and just block the world out. In the words of the great Chinese philosopher. Hang on. Dom Wigley just did a survey about the BBC today. Come on, Dom, you wrong. What did you say? Did you upset Auntie Beeb? Or bloody hell, Stuart, on Christmas FM the other night, I heard a song called All I Want for Christmas is a Hippopotamus. Never heard that before. It was so cringy. Do you know, this is going to freak you out. As I was cleaning my teeth before because I kind of spruce up. Not that you believe that. I spruce up before I come and do these live, so I'm sharp. And I was thinking, whatever happened to the song All I Want for Christmas is Me 2 Front Teeth? Is it too old for nowadays? Is it too cringy? And now Stuart has been listening to All I Want for Christmas is a Hippopotamus. Never heard that one before. I've also got a very inappropriate, I can't tell a gag. I can't. I'll lose half my audience. Stuart, family and friends, sport and food. I love cooking dinner with a Baileys or 2. Is that bottles, Nicky? Or just glasses with a little ice? Stuart says, because I asked you a question. What makes Christmas for you? So Lewis says, pigs in blankets. Try chasing them in the muddy field to get them ready for Christmas Day. Hugh Edwards playing the piano with Tom Jones singing. Brilliant, Paulie Galtieri. Albert Metcalf, just more bloody housework. Was it Kevin Bloody Wilson who said, Santa Claus, where's my bloody bike? Well, he said something else, a little bit more boisterous. Saville, the BBC Ghosts of Christmas Past. Ooh. No post, no knocks on my door, pyjamas, old movie, cake and gin. I see you. We're all round to yours. Sounds like a fabulous Christmas. Gles Griffith says, as I have gotten older, I think of the nativity and the true meaning, much as I did when I was an infant, listening to awe to the story. Can you imagine the nativity? I feel sorry for Joseph. Didn't get any. All of a sudden, he's got a family. I mean, he couldn't have been a good boy when he was a carpenter. Just knocking one out every now and again. Furniture, before you ask, I said he was a carpenter, not, one off the wrist. But maybe that's what you do with hammers. Best Christmas song is Kirsty MacColl and Fairy Tale in New York. Sandra, you're not allowed to use the word faggots. No, I don't know why you can't use the word faggot. Because, and I did my research today to make sure that the version of faggot that I know and refer to is actually a thing. They're meatballs made from, as I said on the last live, a faggot is just a meatball-y thing that if you've got next and out is a meal. But now they're editing it and they're being far too, oh no, we can't play that. Well, it's not exactly friggin' in the rigging by the Sex Pistols, is it? No. And, or you can't play Lou Reed, Walk on the Wild Side on the BBC because it's about, my name's Ethel on a weekend. Nicky Watson, 2 bottles. 3? Nicky! Hardcore. Amalia Grassi, the act of making it special no matter what and focusing on Jesus' birth and meaning of love. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to play nice tonight because I want to get to the sound clash in a minute. We'll play nice. But so I've been to Israel numerous times. I've been to the Sea of Galilee and seen the Jesus boat. Nobody knows whether it was the Jesus boat, whether it was the 12 disciples, or whether Jesus, Yahweh, because remember, it's the Son of God, not God. He gave his only son. And December 25th is a pagan holiday. So the Romans were like, oh, we need to take control of this. And the Council of Nicaea decided on the canon within the Bible. So it's blokes who go, right, we're not having the Gospel of Thomas. No. We can't have the great unwashed doing stuff that we don't agree to. So no, and we'll get rid of the Magdalene. We'll get rid of her. She's just a prostitute. Let's tell everybody that she was on the game. So the concept of Jesus's wife, mother of Jesus's child, Sarah, that she was on the game. So how did they pay? They didn't have money. Was it a tithe you gave to the church and somebody came round and gave you a servicing? Or they didn't have money. I mean, like the Premiership footballer equivalent back in the day were the stonemasons building the pyramids, and they only got seed and beer. They were just shit-faced all the time, but at least they got paid by getting shit-faced. They paid with a goat. Stephen Hall. What? The stonemasons. Yeah. So they had to go through. So the way that this works, if you want to look at the stonemasons, the Premiership footballers of their day, if you want to have a look at how they built the pyramids, well, they built the pyramids using technology that we don't have now. And basically, depending on the level within the stonemasons, what do they call it? Not college, not studio, lodge. The stonemasons' lodge, they would have to put their hand through what they call a wicket, through a hole. And depending on the handshake that you gave, was dependent on the man behind the place that was going to give you your beer and your grain and your stuff. he would know whether you knew, because they were all illiterate. But most people are thinking, oh, well, did they not read books? There was no such thing. The printer didn't arrive until the Middle Ages, although they had parchments and monks that would write it out, especially Lindisfarne. I don't know why I just pointed up there. Lindisfarne's just up the road. So, yeah, and if they lied to get more beer, money, whatever, they would just hack their hands off. Which is why in Arabic countries, if you find somebody that's had their right hand chopped off, they're a thief. Might sound barbaric to you, but sorts the fucking thieves out. Mind you, maybe we should have that now as a parliament. The amount of money they're all thieving. Rusty, I was brought up Catholic, nasty religion. I'm with you, I see you. Tom Waits, Christmas card from a hooker in Minneapolis. How about Tracy? Nice, is it a freebie? Spaceships lifted them stones. Comic Mania. I can't wait to find out what's underneath. I mean, people are researching it, and I loved the head of antiquities in Egypt, Hawass, Dr. Hawass. So they did all this research from stuff in the sky, and they went right, and they can't. And he said, no, that can't be real. That can't be real. You've never been down there. And they said, we don't need to go down there. We've got satellite imagery. What do we know? Need to go under the well, you can't do that. You can't do that. Well, yes, we can. We have the technology. Oh, Scheißen. So they used satellites and modern technology to find out what was under the pyramids and under the Sphinx. And they weren't allowed to tell the world because, that's not playing fair. Well, just tell us. Is the... because there was the Library of Alexandria, and just tell us what the... what they're calling it, not the room of... there was something under the Sphinx, and they're still not letting anybody under there. But now that they've got the satellite technology, Hawass is not happy. The Nephilim cut, transported, and laid the stones. Nice one, Les. My wife's nan was a victim of the Catholic laundries in Ireland. No, Rusty Rovings. Oy, 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 oy. I mean, I've seen a film about the Catholic laundries. Harrowing. I see you said, thank you, Rusty. I see you says, I can believe it. Awful people, nuns and priests. Yeah, they're all abusers, in my view. Because if you're not coming out and telling the church and or the rest of society what the Catholics are up to abusing kids, then you're part of the abuse, in my view. I wonder if they read the Daily Papyrus whilst on the Big Dig. Soul Rebel. Evening all. Apologies for... Are you late again? Bloody hell, Soul Rebel. For tardy timekeeping. Yeah, just shuffle up. Let Soul Rebel back in. There's still Battenberg and Alter Wine if you need it, Soul Rebel. But I think we might be down to the last piles cushion, sadly. The Starmers are hard on your arse. That's the pews, the wooden pews. That's why they're called the Starmers. Don Wigley says, love, do they know it's Christmas 1984? And has the starvation ended in Africa? No. How much money have the BBC collected in total for children in need? And has it made its way to the children yet? Just asking for a friend. So thank you to all your... yeah, I see you. So, Rebel, what time do you call this? Late, I see you. So welcome to everybody into the body of the Kirk, as always. We're trying to make it a little lighter this evening, although I am going to touch on the darkness. Not the band, just the demeanour. Rusty's roamings. Yes, hang on. Let me just find what Les has been up to. He's obviously making people's hair curl. Rusty's memories. Oh, let's just get to the bottom of it. So should we? Right. So I want suggestions. So this, I think we'll run 10 rounds. And I should have made sure I had paper. We'll have 10 rounds of 2 songs. And every round, I want you to suggest songs. And I'm going to pick them out of the chat. And then you're going to vote 1 or 2. Brilliant, Des. Thank you. Gribbo. All right, then. Chris Rea. We'll start with that one because it always makes me cry. How much money will Bob Geldof give back to charity? Interesting concept, David. Snow. Hang on. The chat's frozen. But so I want you to pick a song, your favourite song. And it doesn't have to be a Christmas song per se. It just has to be a fantastic song. But song 1 in this particular sound clash is going to be Driving Home for Christmas. Why has my chat suddenly stopped? The Tarts. It's going again. Ooh, David Graham. Ring Out Solstice Bells with Jethro Tull. Oh, Road to Hell. No, we're not going to go Chris Rea against Chris Rea. Napoleon Blown Apart. Evening One and All, a little behind tonight. Oh, Andy B, you and your little behind. You'll get arrested in this weather. I haven't bought the girlfriend's Christmas present yet. Stephen Hall. Don't be lacking at Christmas because, well, 12 months is a long time not to get any. Fairy Tale of New York. Stuart, we'll save that one for a little later. Gaudete. Steel Eye Span. Carl Watley. Are you being on the bloody altar wine already? Heartbreak Hotel. Heralding Rock and Roll. Bloody hell, Andy. Thank you. Thank you for your support, young sir. Did you know Roy Orbison was a blonde? He dyed his hair. And Elvis was a ginge, seemingly. Not wrong with a bit of ginge. Kinger. What was the song by Krista Berg about Christmas? Spaceman Came a-Travelling. Right, yeah, because it'll get knocked out first. Right, so 2 songs, sound clash. Hang on a second. I need to just find a bit of paper that I can make notes on, obviously. So, I'm not putting it in my diary. So, round 1 is going to be, so you have to vote for 1 or 2. So, the sound clash is going to be, right. We'll do Krista Berg. Sorry, 1. You're voting for 1 or 2. Just 1 or 2. There's no I don't knows here. So it's a sound clash. Which is the better song? Is it Chris Rea, Driving Home for Christmas, or Krista Berg, A Spaceman Came a-Travelling? 1 or 2. Chris Rea, Driving Home for Christmas is song 1, and Krista Berg, A Spaceman Came a-Travelling is song 2. I want you to vote, and whichever gets the most votes goes through to the next round. It's called a sound clash. Oy, 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 oy. Comic Mania and Nicky Watson. Yeah, wrong. You're voting for Kitty. Looks like it's 80, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Matthew Whedon, 1. Can't stand the other. Krista Berg, David Graham. Song 2 was by Blur. Very good, Lewis. No flies on you tonight. Greg Lake. Greg Lake. I wasn't asking you. You're wrong. So I'll wait for the votes to come in. Oh, Amalia. Oh, I don't know. We're looking for quality, Amalia. Jingle Jangle Jewelry by Jimmy Savile. Paulie Galtieri. Nice. No, I'm not going to make that gag. I'll definitely get into trouble. Right, I would say without equivocation that Chris Rea. That's my own fault for doing two Chris's in round one. Round one. Right, that's round one done. We'll talk about something else for just a moment. Here's a question for you. I was going to save it till later, which is why I was. Which Christmas number one? And tonight is not a music night per se, but we're just kind of balancing the serious out with a little bit of warmth and fuzziness for Christmas. Which Christmas number one would you press repeat on forever? Which Christmas song would you press repeat on forever? Mine, I think it would be Merry Christmas, War is Over, John Lennon. And at the beginning, he says, Merry Christmas, Yoko. Merry Christmas. I think her daughter was called Kyoko. And nobody talks about Yoko's daughter from her first marriage or relationship. And he says that at the beginning of Merry Christmas, War is Over. Power of Love. Hang on. Karina, you know when Karina says, stay another day, East 17. I think that's coming up in the sound clash a little while, Karina. None of them, says Matthew. Bloody Whedon. Des Ashton. None. Curmudgeonly, Des. Queen, thank God it's Christmas. Oh, Comic Mania. Yeah. Paul West. None. Roy Wood. Albert Metcalf, you wind-up merchant. John Lennon would be mine too, says Stephen Hall. It is a beautiful song. Right. Worst gag of the night so far? King Treble 7. I know Chris Rea's brother. Die. I know you're laughing, King Treble 7, but it's Christmas. Goodwill to all men and women. UB40, food for thought. It certainly was after King Treble 7 said it. It's not Christmas until Noddy says so. It's Christmas Eve. Wham! Last Christmas. I know, Karina. In the kind of, I got one of the. I was working nightclubs at that time, and I got it through, and it was kind of popular, but it didn't make number one because Wham was still around. But since George shuffled off, brilliant. Les Griffiths, his other brother was a goner. Supported Arsenal. Gooner, Ria. Bohemian Rhapsody. Ooh, Louise Hampson. Winter's Teal. Wasn't that David Essex? Thank you, Mike. Phil the Van. That Chris Rea, brother, die, ain't it? Yeah, we've already had that gag, Phil the Van man. Louise H. just took words right out of my mouth. What did you say, Louise H? Bohemian Rhapsody from Amalia. So we've got 2 votes for Bohemian Rhapsody. Shall we put that into the second round? Brenda Lee, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. Right, let me get a file. Do you know? I bet I've have I? Is that? Right. So, I'll also tell you that. So I've taken a vote based on a top 20 that I can actually cite line by line. It's a Skoda poll of 2,000 UK motorists ranking their favourite Christmas driving song. So I kind of took that as a to model the sound clash. And Driving Home for Christmas, Chris Rea, is actually number 2. Wham's Last Christmas is number 3. So round, we're going to have... hang on. I'll keep doing the rounds until it matches. So we'll do the rounds, first one, and then second one, and then into the semi-final and final. So first song in this particular Sound Clash round is going to be Wham! Last Christmas. And David Graham says, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree with Mel Smith and Kim Wilde. No, we'll do, not that one, David, but we'll do Rocking Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee, because that was the original, wasn't it? So round 2, Sound Clash. Vote 1 for Wham! Last Christmas, or 2, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee. So I'll wait for your votes to start coming through. Napoleon Blown Apart. What's the... Oh, do you know? Napoleon Blown Apart. What's the prize? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Brenda Lee's getting it, so to speak. Ooh. Where's all the youth and the Wham fans? So, hang on. David Graham, Wham, Des Ashton, Lauren Taylor, Malia, Lauren Taylor, all Wham fans. I See You, Gribbo. Who else was there? Napoleon Blown Apart, Stuart, Albert Metcalf and Lionel. Oi, 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 50-50. It's neck and neck. Neck and neck. Brenda against the mighty Wham. So let's have a look. Wow. It's 9 years this Christmas since George Michael died. Yeah, he was doing too much weed at the time. He was out driving his car and crashing him into something snaps, happy snaps, something snaps. Last Christmas he gave you his heart. This year, other organs are available. Oh, Phil the Van. Yeah, I always did wonder about last Christmas. I gave you my heart. This year, save you from fear, whatever it is. Give it to someone special. I mean, was he talking about, euphemistically giving it to someone special? Phil the Van. Me. Louise Sampson, 1. Wham fan, says Louise Sampson. A girl in my job was in tears when George Michael died. She was a huge fan. I've said before that for me, George Michael's talent was when he did kind of jazzy flavors. Cowboys and Angels is seriously a great song. I mean, the kind of early Wham stuff, yeah, I'll give you that. But Nicky Watson, never liked Wham. Wombling Merry Christmas, Soul Rebel. You've definitely been on the altar wine, you're wrong. Phil Levanny was a donor. He gifted all the royalties from Last Christmas to Andrew Ridgely. Did he really, Rusty Romings? Cowboys and Angels, what a song, says Stuart. It's beautiful. It is just breathtakingly beautiful. And so let me tally up the votes. We got. Let's have a look at this one. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it literally is 50-50. 1. Hang on. Oh! Wham's got it by, let me just check, make sure there's no other, what's her face? Brenda Lee. Literally, Wham have got it by 1 vote. So that was close. Although Brenda Lee's it's kind of coming back, isn't it? So to speak. Wham wins. And let's, the next round, we'll do Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody, because I want to have songs in there that also are not necessarily a Christmas song. So we'll do Queen. I'm not going to ask for your votes just yet, but I will put it up against a strong song. I mean, we've got Bing Crosby and David Bowie, Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time, Dean Martin's Let It Snow, beginning to look a lot like another TV advert, Perry Como and the Fontaine Sisters. Really? Did he? No, not did he. Perry Como. So we'll not have. Karina says not a big Queen fan, but let's have a look at what's going on in the world for 5 or 10 minutes. In fact, do you? Should we talk about the BBC? Because I just want to. I just want to talk about the BBC because I was talking with a dear friend of mine today, who's very, very, very insightful. Not going to give any more details than that. They know who they are. So I'm not. It's rhetorical. Is the BBC done, or is the BBC going to be forced to change? So, in my view, tonight the BBC is the main headline, and the headline, I would suggest to you, is a warning label. Because when you see these stories together, these 3 stories together, Trump suing the BBC for 10 billion, they're talking of charging us for classic BBC shows, Only Fools and Horses, Dad's Army, the classic BBC shows, which the license fee has already paid for. And a license fee that might become free for people on benefits. So if you get all your mates around, are they friends with benefits? So we're not looking at gossip. We're looking at and decoding what's going on with the BBC. And I would suggest to you that we're looking at a broadcaster being quietly redesigned in public because the Royal Charter is up for renewal and it ends on December 31st. Is it 26? And then the new charter starts in 27. But all this, we're going to edit Donald Trump and it's going to look like this. So the question isn't, do you like the BBC? The question is, does the BBC still have a future that looks like the BBC? Because there are futures where the BBC survives. And futures where it survives is the way, I would suggest, a ship survives after you remove the engine. Now, let's take a quick look at the Trump lawsuit. Existential threat or theatre, political theatre. And there are some people like Ed gets on my tits, Davey. He's saying, we need to support the BBC. Why is that, Ed? So you can get more screen time, so you can have telly time and social media time and jump on another bandwagon. Oh, is that why, Ed? Because nobody trusts you after what you did to the postmasters and mistresses. You just left them. Now, I've had to dance around some of my language there, out of respect for the postmistresses and postmasters. But Ed Davey, he's, just, winds me up. So let's talk about, I said 3 stories. Let's talk about the first one. First one is the loudest. So we'll do that one first. Donald Trump suing the BBC for 10 billion over the editing of a Panorama documentary clip. You'll hear people say, he's going to win. But that's not a safe assumption. In US defamation law, public figures face a steep hill. You generally need to show the publisher acted knowingly or recklessly with falsehood. The actual malice standard, reckless with falsehood. Now, Reuters spells out this, that it's quite a high bar. And jurisdiction and legal protections are likely battlefields too. So why does this matter if Trump doesn't win? Because lawsuits like this are not only about verdicts, they're about cost, distraction, reputational bleed, and leverage. So even a win can be expensive. And the distraction? Well, lawyers and crisis communicators become the executive boardroom wallpaper. Can you imagine? He's going to sue and is suing the BBC for 10 billion, not million, billion with a B. And the lawyers are like, oh, yeah, beauty. How much are we going to make out of this? Let me explain the reputational bleed. BBC sued for 10 billion. It's a global headline. This is an organisation that seemingly is respected the world over for its trust and honesty. And then they edit a speech to make it look like he was inciting rioting in Washington, D.C. Nancy Pelosi's already come out and said, Trump knows where the bodies are buried, and the BBC trying to do this to him. So that global headline, Trump sues the BBC for 10 billion, doesn't really matter. It's that reputational risk. Whether or not it's later dismissed does not matter. And leverage, well, it lands right as the UK government has launched a major BBC charter review about trust, governance, and funding. And here's the darker truth. The BBC's real vulnerability isn't Trump. It's that trust is the currency of public service media. And trust is exactly what is being audited right now. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. These, again, are yes-no questions. They're going to be quick fire. There's going to be 3 of them. 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for I don't know. And I'm going to be generous in the questioning. So my question to you is 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for I don't know. Should a public broadcaster ever apologise for an edit if it believes the edit was editorially justified? So if the BBC believed they were in the right to do it, should a public broadcaster, the BBC, ever apologise? 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for I don't know. Trust once lost can never be regained, says Tom Harneys. Soul Rebel. Who is Kitty? I'm dumb. It's not a cat. So 1 for yes, 2 for no. Hang on a second. Let me just have a look at whether I'm lagging or not. Yeah, the votes were. Oh, they're starting to come through now. There was a bit of a lag there, so apologies. I know that you've heard me ask the question. All right, let's do that. So, lies are lies. Rusty's roamings. Karina agrees. Tom Harneys, I see you, is a no. Should a public broadcaster ever apologise if it believes that it was doing the right thing? I mean, you've had Tony Blair stand up as Prime Minister saying, I believed that I was doing the right thing. Mate, 45 minutes, clear and present danger. My hairy backside. 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for I don't know, 4 for I couldn't give a flying, says Les. Well, you might just, Les. Transparency 100%, says Vix Tex. And Nicky Watson says a yes. So a lie is a lie, as I said. Manipulating the narrative, wrong on every level, says Lauren Taylor. They knew what they were doing, says Lewis. And I agree. So here's question 2. Do you believe high-profile lawsuits are mainly about justice? 1. Or mainly about intimidation? 2. Do you believe high-profile lawsuits like this one from Donald Trump, Pew Pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert Dibble and Grubb, this lawsuit from Donald Trump, is it about justice, 1, or mainly about intimidation? I don't care what they believe. They lied deliberately, says Des Ashton. Lewis says they knew what they were doing. Not a mistake in my humble opinion. Deliberate, Soul Rebel. Louise, Nicky Watson, Vix Tex, Stuart, Paul West, I see you. Wow. Matt Whedon, Super Ted. Les Griffiths is yes, but everybody else is 2 no. Des Ashton says they're about publicity. So it's, wow. And final question, the most important question for the moment. If the BBC loses trust, does anything else it makes even matter? If the BBC loses trust, and some people are saying this is the end of the BBC, some other people are saying it's being redesigned in public. But if the BBC loses trust, does anything else it makes even matter? Lauren Taylor, 1 might be 2, but they cannot get away with it. Everybody's saying no. I never got the hard on for the BBC in this country. Barry Wright says 1. Everybody's saying no apart from Barry. Vixtex, Super Ted, Rusty's Roamings, David Graham, Lionel, Des Ashton. The BBC is finished. It is now only a matter of time. There's been Now on the BBC worth watching for 30 years, says Les Griffiths. I agree, Les. Lauren Taylor, very insightful. Losing trust? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Hugh says it all, says Soul Rebel. So I'm going to... I might have to go on a little bit longer tonight. So thank you for all your votes. Thank you for everything. It looks like I see you. Les, I agree. It's for sheeple. Rusty Roamings, we can no longer believe anything they say. And if Reform get into power, oi, 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 oi. So that was story 1, Trump and the 10 billion lawsuit. That's the first story. The second story was charging for classics. The end of Everyone Gets It. The BBC charging for classics and older content that's already been paid for by the license fee. So this, I would suggest to you, isn't just about nostalgia. This is about the BBC's founding magic trick. Universality. Everyone pays, everyone gets. Once you split the audience into tiers, as in TIERS before you start your wronging, you split the mission into pieces, and that split is now being openly discussed in government's Charter Review Green Paper, a future where some BBC content remains universal. Often it will be news, children's, maybe factual, whilst the entertainment, sport, the big hitters, and archive content could move behind a paywall or top-up subscription. That's according to gov.uk. So that's why you're seeing reporting about a Netflix-style model, ads, subscriptions, and monetizing older content. So let me just lay it out in front of you. Let's put the cards on the table. The BBC's future might actually look like this. The BBC as a universal civic utility. That's news, education, kids, and emergency info, the propaganda arm of the government. Or the BBC as a premium entertainment brand, drama, different formats, whether it be comedy or sport, archive, all of that paid. And I would also hazard that Paulie Gallieri's made a very good point. That's TV and UK Gold to watch the old stuff. That's actually better than anything from the past 30 years. And Les says we should get a cut of the money the BBC make from overseas sales of programmes. The licence fee payers enable those shows being made. So you're voting for lack of trust. Your vote for everything around the BBC. I would suggest to you that the future is going to have a massive psychological shift, because we've grown up with it. It's always been the same. And that's why I said 2026 is going to be wild, because I believe organisations such as the NHS, the police, the BBC, at the end of 2026 will start to not look like the organisations that we've grown up with or know. So if classic BBC becomes paid, then the BBC stops becoming our library, for want of a better word, and just becomes another shop, another streaming service. And shops don't get defended the same way that libraries do. So again, I'm going to ask you another question, quick-fire questions. If the BBC archive, what they're suggesting we might have to pay for, if it does become a paid service, does that break the moral contract of the licence fee? So if the BBC archive becomes paid, does that mean it breaches the moral contract of the licence fee? 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for don't know. Matthew Whedon says, all your once respected organisations are now collapsing. Oh, it's all yes. Wow. You see, this is really emotive, because I would suggest that in certain circumstances, there's a lot of love for the BBC in varying guises. But to modernise it and realign it and stream it for the modern viewer or the modern interactor, they'd have to get rid of a load of radio stations. Nobody's listening to the local anymore. It's just national, save hundreds of millions. But everybody, literally virtually everybody, apart from the odd one or two, agrees that it would breach the moral contract of the licence fee. So if they try to take a little bit, cherry pick, and say, oh, this bit's going to become paid, everybody will just like, oh, here, up yours. So here's sort of the next level down. Another quick fire question. Would you pay a subscription for BBC drama and entertainment if the news channel and the news output stayed free? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Would you pay a subscription to the BBC for drama and entertainment if the news output stayed free? 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for I don't know. Hang on, what Soul Rebel said? Soul Rebel said no. Everybody's Soul Rebel, too lefty elitist for me. Bob on, Soul Rebel. The BBC needs to go, says I see you. It is either funded by public subscription or by pay-per-view. That's it, says Les. So all the votes are, there's not one person said yes. They would pay for the entertainment and the drama. Rusty's roamings. Foxtrot Oscar. So final question. And again, it's a little bit further, and we're going to go on to the third story within this little BBC arc. Would you... No, let's reversion it. Is a two-tier BBC still the BBC? Or is it a different beast wearing an old coat? Is it the Fabian Society, a wolf in sheep's clothing? So is it 1 for yes, 2 for no? Is a two-tier, some paid, some free? Is a two-tier BBC still the BBC? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Oh, Soul Rebel, they can join Jaguar. I know, he got sacked, didn't he? Well, he fell on his sword. Pork sword. A public vote of the future of the BBC. That's, you know, they should do, Paulie. Let the people speak. Everybody's saying no. The Bovril, oh, evening, the Bovril. Good to have you in the body of the Kirk. Says, yes. So nobody wants a two-tier BBC. Les makes a good point. The BBC hasn't been the BBC for decades. So, Vixtex, Jaguar. Yeah, well, we all knew. Go woke, go broke. And that they've had to rein it in and change it and get rid of the guy that made them go woke because, well, they're going to lose a shit ton of money. We're laughing at them. We literally laugh at them. I can see no future in any format for the BBC, says Des. It is standing bare-arsed in the shop window. Thank you, Des. Sandra, should put it on advertising, so stop the licence. Yeah. So, let's get to the third part of the three stories. So, free licence fee if you're on benefits. Now, as I've said before, I'm not bleating about this, it's just life. I can't claim any benefits because my wife earns more than 16 grand a year. And these slacking feckers that come across on the dinghies, they're going to get free BBC. They're going to get free everything. Well, obviously, it's in English. They're not going to understand a word that's going to be on the telly because they can't understand in English. So a free licence fee if you're on benefits. I don't want you to vote. It's kind of rhetorical. Is that compassion or a warning flare? That's the third headline. Free TV licences for benefit claimants. Now, it's important. This is being floated in current reform discussions, not the settled nationwide rule today. And remember, the Labour Party, the government, who were organising the Royal Charter to become a legal document for 10 years, they're going to lie left, right and centre. They want you to be angry. They want this moral indignation. How very dare you? Angry from Surbiton or whatever it is they use. Right now, there are specific free and discount routes. For example, households with someone 75 plus on a pension credit can get a free licence. If you're registered blind, you get a 50% discount. How does that work? I mean, call me naive. And 75 plus on a pension credit. How many 75 pluses do you know? And what's Des said? Travellers without authority to stay. Correct. Or as I was going to call this channel in the early days, the wise and the stupid. I agree with you, Des. And some residential care arrangements have a reduced fee anyway. That's currently where we are. So what is the reform idea really saying? It's basically this. The flat licence fee is politically and socially brittle. They're talking about upping it to 200 quid. 200 quid a year, 4 quid a week. I don't even watch the BBC. I don't want all this lefty shite, the blipverts, as Max Headroom would say. I don't want to watch that shite. To be honest with you, I'm watching social media. I can pick and choose, or the algorithm will pick and choose what's in front of my eyeballs, depending on what I watch. Some of the BBC output is just pants. Isn't the OAP the old age pension classed as a benefit? It is. I mean, yes, I agree with you, and that should be allowed. Anybody over the age of, was it now? It's coming up 67. I mean, it used to be 60 for certain people, and then it was 65, and then 66 and 67. By the time Gen A gets to be a pensioner, there won't be a pension, because they will do away with it. Mark my words. They're going to do the knees of the pensioners. You'll own nothing and be happy. They want us all impoverished, except if you're an MP and you can send money to Ukraine and have it laundered in the world's most corrupt country. In fact, it's the universe's most corrupt country because it's laundering all the bloody money and it's coming back from the NGOs and stuff in Ukraine that they don't want talking about. Oh, should we talk about the biolabs? Oh, no, Adrian, no, you can't talk about that. Why not? The Americans are paying for it. Trump's cutting off all the subsidies. The United States Agency for International Development was one of the first things he did the knees of when he got into power, into the White House. The House of Commons Library, their briefing captures how the licence fee is already a live policy problem. They're looking at price, enforcement and concessions. They're all under scrutiny. And you know what's coming, don't you? You're going to have digital ID to have access to the BBC to prove who you are and whether you're paying taxes, whether you're gaining benefits, or whether you're just watching the BBC and their vans, as we used to know them, the monitoring vans, the license vans are at the top of the street. Quick, turn the telly off. That's all under scrutiny. They'll tie it to digital ID. Without digital ID, no BBC. Well, you can go off. Foxtrot Oscar, you're not getting me taxes either. And I've told you my story before. I was having to pay a year up front for my TV licence. And when I moved house, where there was already a TV licence, they wouldn't give me my money back. It's 150 odd quid. They wouldn't give me my money back. And they make it really difficult on the BBC website to find out where and how you can reclaim it. At least Dick Turpin wore a mask. So a benefits exemption can be read two ways. Version A, compassionate modernisation, targeted support, keep the BBC universal, but stop punishing the poorest. And version B, I would liken it to a flare in the fog. If you have to exempt more and more people and more households don't pay, the universal fee model becomes a wobbling table with one leg short. And if universality collapses, then the BBC either moves to a household levy or tax like models, or becomes subscription and advertising, or the BBC's in an anti-Semitic argument now. Oops! That's because it is. The Labour Party and the BBC, they're left-wing anti-Semites. And it's provable in the Labour Party until Starmer, he's not Jewish, but his wife and his kids are. It's a bit like Tony Blair. Oh, I'm not Catholic. I can be president of the United Kingdom. Oh, sorry, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. I'm not Catholic because it's in law. You're not allowed to be Prime Minister if you're Catholic. Oh, and finally, I'll make this point. I was being taken off track. The BBC actually shrinks into core public service only, whilst entertainment becomes commercial. And that's why the questions that I'm asking you is actually landing. I can tell by the chat. Question. No, you don't answer, because I've got more questions coming. Is the BBC on shaky ground, as Des has said? Yes, because the ground beneath it is being dug up by the future. Is the game over? I would suggest not yet. But the next charter from 2028, it disappears. They're going to have to negotiate and reorganise the Royal Charter probably before the end of 26, so that it can be put in place by the end of 27, midnight 31st of December 2027. It becomes the next charter for 10 years from 2028, January 1st. But that might actually quietly decide what the BBC is. The current charter, as I've told you, when it expires, and the consultation process has begun. So, let me just describe it this way to you. The Trump lawsuit is the thunder. The paywall talk is the tectonic shift. And the free license for benefits story is the moral argument forming in real time. So I'm going to suggest to you that this is the decade where the BBC either becomes a lean, trusted civic institution with a clear mission, or that'll be propaganda arm of the government, or a confused, half-public, half-paid machine that pleases nobody and just bleeds relevance until it dies. And the brutal truth is this. The BBC won't be killed by one scandal, Hugh Edwards. It will be dissolved by 1,000 small redesigns. It'll be redesigns by committee after committee after committee. And then the politicians will get their fingers in. I'll let you make your own gags up. So it's death by 1,000 cuts or 1,000 redesigns. Political, maybe. Managerial, definitely. Until one day you'll look up and realise the name is the same, BBC, but the soul of that organisation has moved out. So, final yes or no's. A couple of questions to round this part off, and then we're going to go back to the music stuff, and I'm going to decode this at the end. I have got far too much for tonight's live, so I might have to do videos in the morning. Right, are you ready? Fastest finger first. Yes or no? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Do you want a universal BBC, even if it costs you personally? Do you want a universal BBC? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Savile, Edwards, scandal after scandal. No. Literally everyone. We've got Les Griffiths and Paulie Galdieri and the Yule Bovril, Sandra Whittam, Phil Levan, Albert Metcalf, Stuart Matthew Whedon, Des Ashton, Napoleon Blown Apart, Comic Mania, Soul Rebel, Amalia, David Graham, not bothered, but mainly no. Lionel and Victex and Karina and Martine. Everybody. Mike says, fuck them, said a spokesperson. Darren Evans and Garin and Sandra Whittam do watch unless it's sports. After over 100 years, time to go. BBC. Bollocks to them, says Karina. So, 2 more questions. Would you accept ads on the BBC services if it meant a lower or fairer fee? Would you accept ads on BBC services? 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for I don't know. Would you accept ads on the BBC services if it meant a lower or fairer fee? Rusty's Roamings. I don't want any kind of biased broadcasting company. Amalia says yes. Comic Mania and Les Griffiths and Lewis and Matthew and Nikki. Oh, no, Matthew, no. Nikki and Karina said yes. Interesting. So I would say 80% are saying no, don't want ads on BBC services. But some others are saying yes. Paul West, no. Martine, no. Sorry, Paul West said yes. Martine, Des Ashton, Comic Mania, Darren Evans. No, one had gone. No. So it's going. The negotiations are ongoing, and it's really challenging and difficult because it's literally daily scandal coming out of the BBC. Not Hugh Edwards, Savile. I mean, these are real tent poles in the fabric of this country. Right, let's have a couple of sound clashes. So we will. I was going to do a whole load of Christmas questions, but again, I love the interaction that we can have on these lives because it's just I get such a. I've got the smartest audience on YouTube. Don't care what anybody else says. I've got the smartest audience on YouTube who just tell it like it is because honesty is integrity and truth is integrity. So everything you're saying, Rusty's Roamings, on the nail. It's a shame because they used to make excellent programs. Right, let's stick Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody. Again, that's song number 1, and you're voting for one of 2 songs. Song number 1 is Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody, and song 2, Fairy Tale of New York. So do you want Queen or do you want Pogues and Kirsty MacColl? 1 for Queen, 2 for the Pogues. Hang on, what's that about, Sunderland? It's lashing it down. Have you got the rain or the snow? So let's have a look. Darren's gone for Queen. David's gone for Queen. Everybody else is going for... Ooh, this is going to be tight. Tom Harney's Queen, no contest. Lewis says Pogues, as does Lauren Taylor. Comic Mania and Amalia go for Queen. Vix Tech's difficult choice. I See You and Lauren Taylor are going for Pogues. Lauren Taylor's voted twice. Yeah, wrong. 3 times, Lauren. And Oval Raw, I'm sure it is, 1. Ooh. So I'll wait another 10, 15 seconds. You can either vote 1 for Queen or 2 for the Pogues. I'm going to count them up as you vote. Let's go for Lewis, the Old Grey Whistle Test. What a show that was. Mind you, if you want to watch it, you're going to... Because the BBC are digitising all their radio and all their archive and all their old shows. Some of them have disappeared, of course. But they are digitising everything and have been doing for years. So, Queen. 2, 3... 8, 9... Ooh. Right, okay. Let's have a look at the Pogues. Oh. Lauren, I'm only counting one of your votes here, wrong. Wow. David, that's just blown my mind. I've still got the numbers in my head, don't worry. Next year, 2026, will be the 35th anniversary of Freddie Mercury's death in 1991. That's scary. Where's the time going? Lionel did say the Pogues are so miserable. Mind you, if you or I, anybody, was in the video, that would double the teeth count of the Pogues. What's that count? Pogues wins it. Oy, 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 oy. So we'll do another round. Right, give me a non-Christmas song. And... oh, we'll put them up again. Yeah. Amalia. Sorry, Amalia. It was the votes. It was something like 16. You can count them for yourself. That's why I leave them up there. But the Pogues did beat Queen, sadly. I really don't like Queen, says Lauren Taylor. Twice. Something going on with your computer tonight, Lauren. So, I'll tell you what. We'll have... song 1 is going to be Mariah Carey. Song 1, Mariah Carey. All I Want for Christmas is Hugh. It's a BBC song. And let's have a look at... should we have Perry Como? It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So, Money, Pink Floyd. That's a great song. Great song. Oh, Always Find Me in the Kitchen at Parties. Can't think. Come on, Adrian. The Animals, House of the Rising Sun. No, we'll do these two. We'll go with Christmas songs from here on in to make it quicker, because we are getting fairly close to the end. So, song 1, Mariah Carey. All I Want for Christmas is Hugh, or Perry Como and the Fontaine Sisters, Monkey Tart. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So, do we go song 1 or Perry Como and his jumpers? I am old enough to remember that. Jonah Louie, thank you. Love that song. Good evening, Adrian. Hope everyone is well. A bit of Perry, please, says Roy Gordon. Good to see you made it. Bloody hell, 5 minutes before the end. Yeah, wrong. Let's go at the top. Thank you for all your votes. What's the zeitgeist? Oh, bloody hell. Perry Como's giving old warbly bits. Mariah Carey are doing. Obviously, we'll cover the screen. Mind you, we could do a confessional. Right. Money, Pink Floyd is a great song. Didn't do her. Rusty Roamings. Oh, right, okay. Jonah Louie. Onward, Christian soldiers. I can't sing. I can at a football match, but I can't in here. Phil Levant, right, let's have a look. It's Perry Como. Right. Oh, I'm just taking a mickey. Roy, don't you worry about that. It is Christmas, and everything's ramping up, everything's speeding up, trying to cram everything in just so we can have one day off. What a punk. I mean, even Jesus Christ, he's not going to have it off, is he? So to speak. Immaculate. His dad, Joseph, can you imagine? Can you imagine the conversation between the mother, Mary, and Joseph? Hello, darling, shall we go to the pub tonight? Oh, I can't. What do you mean? It's only a bit of mead. It's not. It won't. I know you're Jewish, and Jewish women can't really hold their liquor. There's a gag there. But you can come to the pub with me. I can't. What do you mean you can't? Well, I meant to tell you. I'm pregnant. Yeah, what? Oh, I'm pregnant, darling. Who was it? Was it that bloody fisherman? I saw you go out on his boat. No. It's an Immaculate Conception. Oh, had a weird shite, man. Immaculate Conception, my hairy backside. All the lads in Nazareth are saying to me, you were pure as the driven slush. How does that work then? You baby in oven. And I've not had me wicked way yet. We're not even married. Didn't tell you that in the Bible, did they? Oh, you know, Joseph, I thought you were a lovely man. And this is divine. Joseph said, I wouldn't bloody know. I haven't had the chance yet. Can you imagine the conversation? Are we in shite in the manger? And they didn't bring hot towels. Just a donkey. Little donkey. Should we have another round? Bit like myself, Irene, Rev, So Rebel, Nazareth, brilliant band. I know, Comic Mania, brilliant. I mean, nobody talks about them now, which is such a shame. And all of the proper bands of the 70s, they're, I mean, I know that vinyl's still in, but didn't realise Mary and Joseph were were from the northeast. Yeah, in between Sunderland and Newcastle. Neither Arthur nor Martha, they couldn't work out whether they were black and white or red and white. Carols annoy me due to the inaccuracies. I know. They just talk shite in carols. Look on the left, the captain said, Amalia, that would be worth seeing. Hang on a second. What's Amalia said? I want to see Aid's theatre performance of the birth of Jesus. That would get me thrown in jail, Amalia. Definitely. Or certainly the Romans would be like, right, we'll invade Britain again. That ginger-haired bugger that from Sunderland, he's gone too far now, saying Mary was a virgin. Well, it says that in the Bible. Joseph didn't have his wicked way. But then the Bible is really vague about, because Jesus had brothers and sisters. Brothers. There were other children. So did Joseph like, are we in Mary? You've given the divine. So it's my turn now. You know, Immaculate Conception. What are we going to have? Another Immaculate Conception? What about me, man? My sphericals are so large they need emptying. I'm going to go to hell. I swear. Right, we'll have round 5. We'll do, I need to do 8 rounds. Right, we'll do these really quickly. Money, Pink Floyd. And, right, let's, Pink Floyd up against the Beatles. Should we, where's it, where is he? Oh, bloody hell. He's not there. Right. Pink Floyd, Manny, or Song 2, Slade. Merry Christmas, everybody. 1 or 2. Four and 20 virgins baked in a pie. Oh, same. Albert, give her a sherry. She'll sleep all day. Hang on. Garen Davis, 1. Pink Floyd. Ooh, this is going to be tight, said Joseph to Mary. Amalia, Pink Floyd. Look, I'm just entertaining myself. I will go to hell, though. Oh, Amalia. Amalia's changed her mind. Right. It's Christmas. Oh, bloody hell, Stuart. Glad you enjoyed the live tonight, Stuart. Thank you very much. God, running over. We'll do 3 more. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do 8 rounds. We'll do 3 more, and then we'll get to the best songs. So let's have a look at the voting as it stands. Scores on the doors. Ethel. Right. Let's have a look at Pink Floyd. Right. Okay. Did somebody see Slade in concert? Saw Slade in concert last week. Really, Rusty's Roamings? How were they? Was Noddy in fine voice? Was Dave what's his face? Is he still playing guitar with them? Right, let's have a look. I think it's going to be. Hang on. Now I hear this Slade song everywhere. I'm surprised people are not actually just brassed off with it. So Super Ted. Looks like Slade wins. So, let's have another one. This is round 6. We're going to do 8 rounds, and then we're going to do 8 into 4, which is the semi-final, and then we'll do the final. So we'll very quickly do that, so that it's staying light and frothy. Adrian. Right, song 1, Bruce Springsteen. Santa Claus is coming to town. Bruce Springsteen, song 1, Santa Claus is coming to town, and Band-Aid, do they know it's Christmas time at all? So Band-Aid is song 2, Bruce song 1. Start voting, and then I'll count them. And ooh, God blimey, I can never tell, which way you're going to vote. Cool. I think the boss is getting it here. So let's have a look at Brucey Baby. Are we going to get a Brucey bonus? 1. Wow. I think Bruce might have just, the boss. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 20 virgins came down from Inverness. Thank you very much, Comic Mania. Yeah. I think the boss has got it. Yeah. Yep. The boss wins. Band-Aid. I mean, what an audience. Heartless. Should have played the cards. So Bruce, let's go 7. What we're going to have is round 7. We've had Mariah. Song 1, East 17, Stay Another Day. Song 2, Bing Crosby, White Christmas. So 1 or 2. Song 1 is East 17, Stay Another Day. Song 2 is Bing Crosby, White Christmas. Ooh. Let's get down to the bottom. There's definitely something going on with YouTube tonight, because the votes are stalling. Right, let's have a look. 3. Right. So, song 2 gets it. Bing, E17, poor buggers. And round 8, we're going to go John Lennon, Happy Christmas, War is Over, song 1. And yeah, let's have a Beatles sound clash. So, Lennon, Happy Christmas, War is Over, song 1. And song 2, Paul McCartney, Wonderful Christmas Time. No ABBA songs? No. Although I was watching a video about the ABBA the other day. You know how ABBA got their name? I know it's a palindrome, same forwards as backwards, but it's Agneta, Benny, Bjorn, Annafried. That's how they got their name. It's the letters of the Christian names. Who knew? Every day's a bloody school day. Right. Hang on. Let me just write this down to make sure I don't lean on. Right. Let's have a... Ooh, Vix text 1 and 2. Cheeky. Let's have a look at all the votes. Thank you for all the votes. It's going to be really tight. Okay. Make your own gags up. 1, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, no. Let me have a look again. I think it's a dead heat, to be fair. Oh. I think Mac might have just pipped Lennon. I mean, I can't believe it. I'm going to say one. Oh, it's a tie. Should I throw the deciding vote? Let's have a look. Super Ted, you've cast this deciding vote. Cool, 14-13. And all the votes are there. You can count them up. So Lennon, it is. Happy Christmas, war is over. So we're going to do 4 rounds now, very quickly. So the reason it's a sound clash is the best song goes forward to the next round. And the next round is Chris Rea, Driving Home for Christmas, against Wham! Last Christmas. So, Lauren Taylor, you're wrong. And McCartney and Jackson, The Girl Is Mine. Lionel, Christianity didn't begin until about 30 years after Jesus. Well, it was all the Romans and the power. So, song 1 is Chris Rea, Driving Home for Christmas. Song 2, Wham! Last Christmas. Oh, okay, 1, 2. Right. Needing more votes, I think. 2, School Disco. Yeah, Back of the Bike Shed. Up the Borough, Super Ted. You're doing very well. I think you're going to be in the Premiership next year. Second to Coventry, you are steaming away, but you're at least a couple of games ahead of the 3rd place. So, up the Borough. 1, 2, 3. So, Wham! Last Christmas goes through to the next round. Let's have another one. This is the Pogues, Fairy Tale of New York against Perry Como. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So, song 1 is the Pogues. Song 2 is Perry Como. Song 1, Pogues. 2, Perry Como. Oh, again, this is going to be tight. Just to round off this live, bloody hell. Okay, 1. Oof. Oh, blimey. Right, I'm going to hold the votes there. I'm going to count them very quickly. It's Pogues or Perry Como. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 1. Right, looks like it's Pogues. So Pogues go through to the next round. We haven't done... Yeah, we have. So, next round, song 1, Slade, Merry Christmas Everybody, or The Boss, Bruce Springsteen. Santa Claus is coming to town. So, is it Slade, Merry Christmas, or Bruce Springsteen, Santa Claus is coming to town? 1 or 2? Ooh, interesting. I think Slade have absolutely romped it. Let's have a look. 1, 2. Right. I mean, it's pointless me counting the votes up because literally Slade has romped it. And finally, before we get into the semi-finals, the fourth song to go into the semi-finals, is it John Lennon, Merry Christmas, War is Over, or Bing Crosby, White Christmas? Oh, this is going to be tight as well. 1, John Lennon. 2, Bing Crosby. Right. Let's just... Okay. Oh, it's going to be Bing Crosby. Hang on, let me have another quick count. Okay. Right, okay. Looks like it's Bing Crosby. Bing Crosby. Shame, because it was close. So we're down to the semi-finals, and the semi-final is Wham versus Pogues to go into the final. Wham versus Pogues to go into the final. And while we're doing all this, you can smash the likes and get me over 100 likes, please. And Wham versus Pogues. Wow, Stephen Hall on a 78. Oh, this is tight again. Loving the voting tonight. Voting with honesty and integrity. So let's have a look. So Wham is song number 1. Pogues is song number 2. Pogues have absolutely romped it. Let's just check. 3. Yep, Pogues have won. They're through to the final. And final voting. Let's have a look. The final is, sorry, the semi-final is Slade, Merry Christmas, Everybody, against Bing Crosby, White Christmas. Interesting. So please vote so we can round this off. I'm not really sure which way it's going to go. Ooh. Well, I know some people have said some of their favourite songs. We'll do another one. We'll do another Sound Clash on Sunday. Right, okay. Thank you for that one. Yeah. Slade have nailed it. Let me just count again so nobody else vote. Hang on. Oh, Slade. Absolutely romped it. So, the final in this first ever sound clash on the Theatre of the Mind, live 272. And if you could smash the likes, please, so that I can get over 100 if you haven't already. The two songs that are in the final. Song 1, Pogues. Let me just... Song 1, Pogues. Song 2, Slade. Merry Christmas, everybody. This is going to be tight. Song 1 is the Pogues. Song 2 is Slade. Berlin Blowing Part says won by a whisker. So Pogues, song number 1. Slade, song number 2. Cheap, lousy 1. Brilliant, Garen. Let's have a look at this. 3, 4, 5, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, oh. Well, I can announce the winner of the first ever Sound Clash on the Theatre of the Mind. Thank you to everyone who has voted this evening and enjoyed something slightly a little different. Pogues, Fairy Tale of New York is the winner. All the votes are there for you to tot them up so you can see that I've been fair. And I hope you've enjoyed that instead of a quiz. And I've got it decoded, which would take me probably 7 or 8 minutes. And now that we're at 9:20, I've done 2 hours. I think I'll keep this for tomorrow and do a decoded in the morning video for you. Thank you very much for that. I've been so busy, I haven't even done my hibiscus. I know we're only a week away, but we're abroad, Kirk. Thank you to everyone that is that's commenting. Thank you for your likes, your subscriptions, and your hypes, but most of all, your indulgence. My name's Adrian Allen. This is the Theatre of the Mind. It was live 272, kind of ease our way into Christmas and the holidays. A lot of people breaking up Thursday, Friday. So I just wanted to make tonight's live a little easier and not too heavyweight as we lead into Christmas. But the heavyweight videos are going to come, don't worry. Whatever you do, wherever you go, and if you're on your own, you are in my thoughts. And it's not... Sometimes people just like their own company. And I love that. So be well. I'm going to do stuff over Christmas, just so that you can either have a giggle or have some insight or have some stuff decoded. But wherever you go, whatever you do, if it's with family or not, enjoy it if you can. There is a reason why they call it Boxing Day. It's not because of the unboxing. It's because of the gloves that come out and everybody goes fighting. So be well. Be safe and be well for the Christmas holidays 2025. It's Christmas. It's not holidays. But whatever your faith, doesn't particularly matter. And remember, ordinarily, the Theatre of the Mind is not a show. It's a mission. And we go again. The mission continues for Truth, Sunday, 7:30. I think that's the kind of de rigueur time that most people enjoy. Parish Notes 7:15, but I'll see you Sunday and other videos during the day. More ghost stories coming tonight and onwards. So look after yourself. I'll see you Sunday for the next live. Be well and happy and smash the likes. Yeah, wrong uns. Hang on, it's gone down, not up. How the bloody hell does that work? Oh, right, looking at the wrong thing. So be well. I'll see you Sunday for the next live, and there's more videos coming in the morning.